Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and I bet some of you are probably a little bit mad at me. Yeah, in fairness, I should have mentioned last week that Fruits Basket was moving to Wednesdays here on the channel. I'm still obviously covering Fruits Basket. I didn't just drop it out of the blue. I love this show to pieces. It's nothing like that. It's just I don't want to be doing 2 videos a day. Just because I tried that for a spell like last year, and I almost burnt myself out, so I'm not really planning on doing that again. So I decided to move Fruits Basket to Wednesdays. God of High School is going to come out on Tuesdays from now on. I hope that's cool, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I just don't want to burn myself out. I want to be making content well into my late 80s, and no, I'm not actually kidding. But with that said, if you would like to join me on that adventure all the way through several decades from now, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new here and you have not hit that subscribe button, I will cry at you, many tears. I will cry an ocean of tears if you are still with this channel and you have not hit that sub button. It breaks my heart. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this. Oh, FruBa, oh, Fruits Basket Season 2, Episode 14, I Should Just Die, which, God, that title is intense. So this week I have just a mountain of notes. A lot happened this week. And I was getting messages. Shout out to those of you who asked. I believe one of them was Dude Melio. I see you, my boy. A lot of people asking on Twitter if I had seen the episode yet. And I hadn't, right? Because usually I record these the day before. So FruBa I'll probably be watching like Tuesday mornings. Just so you get my raw first impressions, right? So I hadn't seen it yet, but I saw a lot of people saying like, damn dude, like you gotta see it. So I was like, oh, what happened now? Fruits Basket lately has been on this trend where it just likes to break my heart. And it did. Again, although this one, it was more of like, what's gonna happen type of thing. It didn't like quite break my heart. It did in some cases. We'll get to it. Rin in particular is where my heart snapped like a Twix bar. But yeah, there's moments in the episode that really got me. And let's actually start right at the beginning, right? So Yuki has this like little flashback where he says that he really only remembers Rin like in his first encounter with her on these occasional New Year's Eve visits, where it'd be New Year's and she'd be tagging along with Haru, and she would just sort of like sit way off in the corner, right? And then eventually she'd walk up and say like, this sucks, I'm bored, I'm leaving. Like, I'm going home. And she would drag Haru with her. And Yuki always thought like, why are you even here? Like, Yuki just was baffled by this, right? And I get this because even like when I'm watching this, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna really bug some of you guys, but understand that this is my first experience with these characters, okay? I don't know where these characters are gonna go. I don't know how they're gonna grow and evolve. I can only judge them based off what I know up until right now, up until episode 14 of season 2, up until this moment in time. And up until this moment in time, every time I see Rin, she's being rude and obnoxious. And like, well, not obnoxious, she's just being rude and cold. You know what I mean? So like every time I see this girl, I'm like, what is your damage? And I have a feeling, based off the scar we see later, and the fact that we see Rin on the ground, I have a good feeling that she's probably, I don't know. Because I did see a lot of sudden love from anime onlys for Rin, and I have to assume this is because of the trailer, which, by the way, no, I did not watch that shit. I had so many people saying, like, you should watch the trailer. But I was kind of hesitant, right? Because I think anime trailers give too much away. So I was kind of hesitant to watch it. And then I did see some people like online say like, no man, don't, because it does spoil shit. So I didn't. But I have to assume that maybe the trailer says some stuff about Rin, probably says some stuff about Yuki and all that stuff. I am not watching that. So I don't know if this is confirmed, but from what we saw in the episode, I have to assume that there's some physical altercation with Rin. Like Rin had, because we see Rin in like this little flashback where she, or like in presentation, we see the scar on her back. Later in the episode, we see this little flashback from Haru's point of view where like Rin's on the ground. So I have to assume there's something happened. And so I get that that's probably why she acts so rude and cold. But it doesn't make it any better. Like, to me, I'm like, bro, like, Rin my girl, I need something from you. And thankfully, this is the episode where we do get that. But before we get that, we gotta talk about the new OP. Oh, it's beautiful. The new OP, and of course you guys know me, right? I'm a color junkie, right? I think color psychology is great. If you choose just the right color, you can make the audience feel what you want to be feeling, and I thought it was really interesting the color choice used in the title. So when we see the Fruits Basket title pop up, right? The title is sort of dissolving between orange and pink, which, as we know, are sunset colors. So I thought that was really interesting. So, like, I was like, okay, like, I'm getting a sort of, like, when I think of the sunset, I think of, like, a wind down. But I'm not getting any kind of wind down vibes from this half of the season. So I don't really know why they chose those colors, and I can only speculate that maybe they chose sunset colors because they're trying to establish that, like, this is going to be the end of a chapter in these characters' lives. Like, this season will mark a significant change for a lot of these characters. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing the sunset means. I could be way off base, but that's just my hypothesis. That said, I would be remiss not to mention that the track is a bop, and there's some sweeping camera shots in this as well that just look fantastic, and it just gives off very pleasant vibes, and it's a super chill opening. I don't think it's quite my favorite opening. I still think, and maybe it's just my preference because it's the first one I saw, but I still think Again is the best FruBa opening so far. Like, it's the one that sticks with me the most. I do love this new OP though. I do think this is a solid OP, but man, Again was such a tough act to follow. I don't know how, like, I need some time to sit with this OP because I almost felt like it was chill, but it was too chill. Like, not enough happened in the OP. It was too quiet. Whereas, like, with other FruBa OPs, like, there's always, like, something going on, like the umbrellas, or just, like, the weird, like, almost, like, 2000s pop vibe that Again has, you know what I mean? Like, there's something about each of those OPs. With this one, I really like the title because I think it's very symbolic. And I think it's a very chill opening. There's a great camera sweep at one point. But other than that, I don't have as much to say about the new OP, although that song is a bop, though. That leads us nicely into the next part of the episode, where we find out that Gramps has collapsed! And I'm not gonna lie, I was very concerned. Because, like, when you hear, like, Gramps collapsed, I was like, what? No, because, like, this dude is, like, the last tether that Tohru has to good members of her family. So I was like, no, not Gramps. Thankfully, he's okay. And Gramps is just, I don't know, I just love this dude. So I was very concerned when we hear that he had collapsed. And it also sort of raised into question where, I can't remember her name, but, like, Toru's, like, aunt or whatever is just like, wait, so if he's collapsed, does that mean I have to go to your teacher-student conference? I don't really want to do that. And I'm like, of course you wouldn't, because you're the worst. Like, they still haven't made me feel any better about Toru's extended family. They still suck. But, like, yeah, when she's like, I don't really want to do that, I'm like, no, of course you wouldn't, you rude friggin' jerk. But thankfully, Shigure to the rescue, although not for the reasons you might think. So Shigure shows up, and he picks up the phone and literally, like, shoves Tohru away, like, I got this. Like Papa Shigure got this. Like, you get out of here. I got this. Don't worry. Let me handle it. And so he's like, no, it's cool. Like, no, it's fine. I'll happily go. I'll go in your stead. And meanwhile, Yuki is just being a good boy, asking if Gramps is okay. So they're having this total other side conversation. They don't hear that Shigure just confirmed he's going to be going as Tohru's guardian to her teacher-student conference, or parent-teacher conference, whatever. So he's going as the representative for Tohru, as the guardian for Tohru. And I'm thinking, like, Shigure, that was really cool of you. That's nice of you, man. And he even says, like, well, somebody's got to be there. We're talking about your future career path here. This is very important. But meanwhile, we get, like, his inner monologue, and he just wants to go to bug teach. Like, he just wants to go to bug Mayu. That's the only reason my man's going. And, like, why am I not surprised? Like, damn it, Shigure. My husbando being trifling again, like, constantly. This man has plans upon plans, and he's just, like, he is ever the Loki presence in this show. Meanwhile, Tohru's like, oh, thank you, Shigure, that's so nice. Like, you don't have to do that. I don't want to bug you. I didn't want to put you out or anything like that. Like, I didn't want to make you, like, have to work, like, just to, you know, to help me. And meanwhile, Shigure's like, no, it's fine. What a jerk. That said, I will say that in this scene, Kyo seems sort of out of sorts, and we will get to that later once we bump into Kagura. But yeah, Kyo acting very odd, and that had me, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit concerned. And then we get to this scene where we bump back to school, and thankfully Momiji, as Haru points out, Momiji is an air purifier. Because every time I see this kid, almost every time I see this kid, usually good vibes follow. Thinking about the beach arc. But every time I see Momiji, 9 times out of 10, he is an air purifier. Like, so when he showed up, I'm like, oh, yay, I don't have to worry about Kyo being weird and Yuki acting strange, or Shigure being a jackass, or Gramps being out for the count. Like, no. Like, Momiji's here, it's all good. And Momiji seems like genuinely concerned about Gramps. Meanwhile, Haru's just playing a knockoff version of Mario Kart on his Switch. But this scene in particular, take away Momiji from it. This is mostly about Yuki talking to Haru about Rin. And Rin is very much the linchpin in this episode. And when he says, you should keep trying, Haru says that he's kind of been drifting away, and he's starting to think that maybe she meant what she said. I don't think that's the case, but Haru thinks that. So Haru seems to think that maybe she did mean what she said. Maybe she doesn't need him anymore, and maybe she is over him, and blah, blah, blah. Again, I really don't think that's the case, but that's what Haru thinks. And then there's this weird scene with Machi Mouse. My girl Mousy shows up. My girl Mousy in the mirror shows up, and her appearance sparks this sort of awkwardness. So when I see her, I'm like, Machi Mouse, what up, girl? What are you doing here? And there is this awkward pause, and I'm like, oh. It took me a second to be like, what, why are y'all being awkward? And then Haru says oh, that's Machi, right? Interesting. And I'm thinking is it? What? Oh, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. How did I not see that? I am Captain Ship. How did I not see this? I feel like a fool. Is Haru hinting that Machi might be interested? Is he hinting that Yuki should be interested? Do I ship Machi and Yuki now? What is my life? My world has been. This is the episode, right? I almost want to title this episode "Broke My Shipping Heart," because y'all know me, right? I have been Yuki Haru for life, right? But my boy's going hetero on me, both boys, and I'm okay with it, cause I kind of dig. I kind of dig it. I like the idea of of Yuki, this character who had such a shell around him, and it took such a long time for him to break out of that shell, for him to reach out and help somebody else break out of their shell. That's cool. I like that. That's a good starter for a relationship. And then you got the dramatic ass relationship between Rin and Haru, and I'm kind of here for it, but at the same time, Yuki Haru though, this episode was me watching my ship fall apart. This episode made me feel like that scene in Pirates 3 where the one pirate, he's not a pirate, but he's a Navy dude. He's walking across the ship as it's being bombarded by cannon fire. Do you know that scene I'm talking about? I probably put up a picture of it right now, but yeah, it made me feel like that guy. Where I'm my whole ship is falling apart. And I'm just in it now. I'm just here to watch my ship fall apart. I don't know how to feel. We'll get more into some Haru and Rin stuff in a bit. We got to make our way through the episode, people. We got to keep making pace. So, we get Yuki taking some forward momentum, which I love. I love seeing my boy Yuki actually take initiative. It's great. And so Yuki goes home for the first time for the first time in forever. Yuki heads home, and he basically is just there to drop off his parent-teacher letter, and he remarks that his mom's almost never home. So it's yeah, somehow that doesn't surprise me. She seems like a jerk anyway. So Yuki's whatever. I'm just gonna leave. So my boy leaves, and I get it. To me, it's I wouldn't, if I was Yuki, I wouldn't have even bothered. I wouldn't have dropped off the letter. I would have just said screw this, because he doesn't Yuki knows himself. Obviously the parent-teacher interview is a big deal, but she's probably not gonna go anywhere. So, like, I get it. But mainly this is interesting because it allows Yuki to bump into Kagura. And this is what really sparks my interest, is that Yuki doesn't ask about, like, his mom, doesn't really, like, just be like, oh, hey, Kagura, I'll talk to you later. Like, none of that. My main immediately asks questions about Rin, and most shocking of all to me, this man asks, hey, did something happen between you and Kyo? Nani? Like, don't get me wrong, him asking about Rin is great because it furthers the plot of the episode, and I appreciate it because I want to know more about Rin. Yes, I find my girl to be quite rude, but I feel like there's a story there, and I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. But the thing, so I was happy there, right? I was happy there, and all Kagura basically says is like, Rin hasn't really been around as much. So, like, whatever. My big thing is him asking about Kyo. Like, whoa, that, for some reason, that shocked the hell out of me. Because I was like, I'm sorry, do you care? Like, are you starting to care? And you're willing to let other people know that you care? Like, do you, Yuki? Listen, man, like, all I want, and it's not a shippy thing, like, before anybody gets, like, upset with me, this isn't a, like, Kyo-Yuki ship thing. I want these two to be close. Like, they can, I don't want the rivalry to go away, don't get me wrong. But I want these two to acknowledge that, like, if you went away, I would be upset. Like that. Like, that's all I want. Like, I fight with you all the time. You do stuff that really pisses me off, but at the end of the day, whether it's we're bound by blood or not, you have been in my life for so long, I do see you as, like, a family member. I just want that. They don't have to be best friends. They don't have to hang out every Tuesday. You know what I mean? They don't got to go out for boba or whatever. I just want them to acknowledge that they care. That's it. Like, that's all I want. And so to see Yuki say this was like, okay, great. So you can tell Kagura that. If you're willing to ask Kagura about what happened with her in Kyo, maybe you should just ask Kyo. Like, maybe you should just be nice to Kyo. I loved it, man. I adored that scene. And Kagura too, so many people like, oh, Kagura, blah, blah, blah. If you dislike Kagura, I'm sorry. Like, you're allowed to dislike the character, that's fine. But if you dislike Kagura because she hurt your boy, you're acting foolish. Like, 110%. Like, Kagura, Kagura's my girl. I will defend Kagura till the cows come home. Like, she's great. Till the Harus come home. She's great. And I will not handle, like, I cannot handle any Kagura slander. So seeing my girl, like, say, like, I'm supposed to be the one that's heartbroken here. I'm like, yeah, you are, girl. Like, this is, I don't know, like, Kyo, like, but at the same time, it's great. Because, like, at the same time, I like that Kyo is also upset. Because it's like, yeah, like, that was an emotional moment. And I'm glad that both of them are feeling it. But that said, I was like, yeah, Kagura, you deserve to be feeling, you deserve to be in your emotions for a little while. Like, that's fair. You do you. That said, this is where Yuki bumps into Rin. And this is where shit hits the fan. This is like the intense part of the episode, so if you've been waiting, ladies and gentlemen, we are here now, we are in it. And Yuki confronts Rin, who was, like, seemingly stalking him. Like, she just, like, showed up out of the blue. I'm like, oh, hey, Rin, what's going on? And I don't think she was stalking him necessarily, it was just, like, odd timing, where I'm like, oh, hey, Rin, what's going on? So he, like, chases after her. I don't know how he caught up to her. As Haru points out later, like, if she really wants to book it away from you, she can. She has the horse spirit. So she can run if she wants to. So I'm like, how did he catch up? Whatever. But he catches up to her. And he confronts her on, like, her past behavior. And he says something that caught me off guard. And again, this is, like I said earlier in the episode that I found her to be rude. But this is the episode that sort of made me change my tune on her. And this is, like, the first moment, right? Where Yuki says, like, you were insanely rude when we met. But the more I think about it, after you guys left, I would see somebody walk up and walk into the room, or look into the room to see if you two were there. So I have to assume that you were protecting him. The reason why you sat way off in the corner was because you were trying to peer through the door to make sure that nobody was coming, and if you did see somebody, you would then book it away with Haru. You were trying to protect him this whole time. And that caught me off guard, because it's like, goddamn, I didn't even think about that. Like maybe she's been protecting him this whole time. I feel so dumb. Like, I feel so dumb, because it's like, yeah, Yeah, like, of course, Rin is probably just protecting Haru. And it's a cool moment to me that you see that from the jump, like, even as kids, Rin was trying her best to protect Haru. Like, she feels protective over Haru. So it's great. But Rin takes exception to that for some reason. And she says, because Yuki says, like, you're still protecting him, aren't you? And Rin gets upset, and she fires back that Yuki is, and I quote, an ignorant fool, and reveals that the whole reason why Yuki was even allowed to live with Shigure in the first place is because Haru begged him. And he's the reason, like, this is the reason why Haru calls Shigure sensei. Like, he begged him to save Yuki, essentially, and Shigure obliged. Because Shigure's, he might be the Loki of the group, but at the same time, he does have a heart. So, it do be like that sometimes. And he basically groveled and begged him to save Yuki, and he did that. So Yuki's current existence is thanks to Haru. And that obviously puts Yuki on his heels, and she calls him an asshole. And I'm like, Rin? Like, as soon as she said that, I'm like, girl? Like, I was, like, ready to snap. And then Haru puts Rin in her place. Haru appears out of goddamn nowhere and says, like, you know, you shouldn't call people assholes. It's pretty rude. And I was like, yes! Haru, thank you. Finally, somebody telling it like it is. Rin, I appreciate that you're going through some stuff, but that gives you no excuse to be a jackass. So I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. Then this happens. Okay. You remember how earlier in this video, and this video's gone on way too long, I'll start to wrap it up now, but remember how earlier in the video I had said that Machi Mouse appearing sort of like rattled the Yuki Haru ship for me. This killed it. I was like, oh, and we sunk. Okay. I mean, at the same time, y'all know me. Canon's boring anyway. Canon's always boring. Canon ships are almost always boring. So I was like, But at the same time, like, for a lot of people, I could see this being the moment where they're like, brr, 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 just like saluting the Yuki Haru ship as it sinks into the sea. But a captain goes down with the ship, and damn it, I'm going down with Yuki Haru. I know that Machi Mouse and Yuki are adorable, and as I said, the dramatic-ass relationship that is Haru Rin is... Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Haru Rin! Oh, no! Rin Haru! What the fuck? I just realized that. Oh my god. There's been a couple times where I'll realize shit on mic. Oh my god. I guess I ship it now. Oh damn. I'm kind of tempted to end the video there. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a perfect ending. But no, we got to wrap up the rest of the video. I'm sorry, I wish I could end it there, but I still got some stuff I should say. But oh my god, I literally just realized that. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm sorry, that might be my favorite moment in all of my history of doing, not just FruBa videos, that might be my favorite, like, video moment in general. Yeah, Haru kisses Rin. Like, right in front of Yuki, and, like, listen, he gets a slap for his trouble, because, like, don't do that. Like, unless you're positive the other person is gonna reciprocate, which in fairness, she does, but, like, that's a dangerous game you're playing, Haru. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that in real life. But hey, in fiction, it's dramatic and we love it. But in real life, yeah, don't do that. But like in fiction, hell yeah. So yeah, he gets a slap for his trouble, but at the same time, like, I'm like, okay, so this ship is strong. There's legs, well, I guess sea legs to this ship, so that's good. And then Haru tells Yuki to stay focused on his own stuff, and it's good that he's doing that. And what I love is this man calls Yuki weak and kind, echoing Aya from way back, which gets Yuki to smile, but then eventually makes him cry, and Yuki realizes that he can't keep going forward on his own. It's great that he has this sudden surge of confidence, but he needs to remember that you can't make it on your own. You need people around you. And I think that also echoes what Rin is going through. Like, Rin needs to realize she can't do this on her own. Like Yuki and Rin should be learning the same lesson. Yuki learned it, but obviously Rin still has a ways to go yet. And this is where we see the scar. Like after Rin slaps Haru and runs away, we see that scar. And I want to know how she got that scar. Shoutouts Joker. But yeah, this is the moment that broke me. Broke my shipping heart. But again, it also like healed my shipping heart because I'm like, oh damn, like this is good. Maybe we can have like an OT4 thing going on. Like this is like you can introduce people like this is my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend Haru, and this is Haru's girlfriend Rin, and this is my girlfriend Machimouse. I don't know, but I'm here for it. I'm here for this weird OT4. I'm okay with this. Okay, 2 more things we gotta mention, and I will mention them very briefly because I have definitely talked too much this week again. Sorry. But Tohru visits Gramps, and I miss this man so much. I'm glad he's as pleasant as ever. But what I love is that he mentions that he had this dream about Katsuya and Kyoko, Tohru's parents. And this man reflects on how he wishes he could see them one more time. And this broke my heart. I love Gramps. Like, we need more Can we all agree that we need more Gramps in this show? Like, Gramps is such a good dude. And it also made me want to know more about Tohru's dad, because I feel like we know so little about him. I don't know if we will, because I haven't seen anybody ever mention the guy. But yeah, and it added some layers to the dynamic that Tohru has with them. Since we get this like flashback later about how when Gramps says, like, I wish I could see them one more time, Tohru gets this, like, memory. It's like he unlocked a memory in Tohru's mind by saying that, and she remembers a time when her mom had said, I wish I could see him one more time, and I have never seen Kyoko look like that. So I was like, what's with that face? Like, why does she look like that? Like, it's just, like, I've never seen her in, like, that dark silhouette that the show loves to do when things are when things are about to go poorly. So I was really surprised by that. And we see, like, Tohru saying, like, don't go, and, like, the door closes, and I'm thinking, like, what is this? Like, what is this new memory? Why is there so much Kyoko mystery going on right now? Like, why is there so much mystery with Tohru's mom? Like, what's going on? That said, it was great to see Gramps again. But my God, that flashback had me so confused. But yes, good to see Gramps again. Also, Gramps looking cozy as hell. Like, I know that he has a broken back right now, but I do gotta say that room looked super cozy. And I would hang out with Gramps. I would hang out with Gramps till he's fully recovered. That man deserves some love and attention, damn it. But then we get Tohru basically collapsing on the walk home. This is because she was like thinking, she had that flashback of Kyoko. And again, what the hell was that? Like, what does that mean? I do not know. What I do know is that Kyo clearly stalking. Like, Kyo is clearly stalking Tohru. I mean, he's not, but, like, come on. Because he just, like, appears out of the blue random. When, like, the instant Tohru falls, Kyo's like, hey, you okay? And I'm like, whoa, Kyo. Where did you come from, my boy? Not that I'm not happy to see you. And, I mean, this is the true ship right here. Like Kyo and Tohru. This is where it's at. But, I will say, like, where was he heading? Because Tohru says, like, weren't you going somewhere? And he's like, come on, you gonna sit there all day? And I'm like, no, answer her question, my guy. Like, where were you going? Kind of late in the evening to be not heading home. Where the hell were you going? I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just curious where he was going. Maybe he was just trying to clear his head going for a walk. I don't know. What I do know is that it was interesting timing. And again, this cements, like, the ship for me. Because, like, he picks her up and he's like, oh, like you're so small, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I am not. Like the cute little interactions are adorable. I love it. I love this show. Damn it. Like, but even though it gives me one ship, it then breaks another ship and then gives me 2 more. Explain yourself, FruBa. I'm emotionally drained this week. Like, I'm just emotionally drained. There's a lot's going on. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, also, yes, the Haru Shigure conversation is great. I love it. It's adorable. But the last thing I got to mention, the new ED. This ED is great. I really like the new ED. Honestly, all the EDs have been pretty much on point. Like really think about it. They've all been great. Like same with the OPs, but the EDs have all been hitting. So I was pleasantly surprised that this one still hits as well. And it's a perfect tune. Like a perfect tune for the ED, especially like given, not just like in terms of being like ED should kind of wind you down, you know? So this ED, it's not only great as a wind down, but it's perfect in connection to Fruits Basket. Like an ED for Fruits Basket has to have the specific sound to it as far as I'm concerned. And this one hits. Like this one is perfect. And the visuals are so great. Like they don't move or anything. It's definitely just like drawings, but I'm here for it because they're so great. Like Haru looking like a king. Hitori looks fantastic. And like Tohru surrounded by the sunflowers is so perfect for her character. It's fantastic. I love the new ED. I don't know if I like it more than ED1 of the season. Like I don't know if I liked it more than the first ED for season 2. They're about on par for me. I'll need some time to sort of fester with this. We'll see how I feel later, but these two are about on par. I'm pretty happy with the new ED, as well as the new OP as well. Like both are pretty good. I got to give it some time. Got to sit with these two to really figure out how I feel. But yeah, Tohru surrounded by sunflowers. Lots of great, lots of great use of color. The flower symbolism is fantastic. Like Tohru surrounded by the sunflowers. I don't even got to tell you what that means. Like that's perfect. Just a solid episode overall. Like solid first. I guess this is technically the first episode of the second half of the season. So this is a solid way to start. Like great new OP, great new ED, great new developments for all these characters. We're starting to learn a little bit more about Rin. It's been fantastic. With that said, though, everybody, I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts here. I think I'm gonna stop going beat by beat. I think next week I'm gonna go back to just the things that I want to talk about because I feel like I talk way too long now. I thought maybe I was talking too much lately because of all the premieres, but if I'm able to go this long with even FruBa, I feel like I've definitely lost people as the video's gone on. I think we're going a smidge too long. I know JoJo talks too much, but I am worrying that I'm talking so much that maybe I'm losing some of you guys. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. I will be reading comments for the first hour as per usual, so yeah, let me know if I'm going too long. Do let me know. But with that said, everybody, gonna wrap up today's video here. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to boop that up snoot and share if you care. And as always, I have to give a big thank you to the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful names. I wonder what their favorite FruBa ship is. That said, if you would like to join these lovely people in the T Squadron, then be sure to check out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can help keep this channel afloat, and I would sincerely appreciate it. But with that said, everybody, I'm going to go sort out my emotions on my broken ship and then my 2 new ones. Lots of mixed emotions this week, but until next time, you stay classy, AnyTube, and wash your dang hands.